Hello, and welcome to the Mission Driven Business Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Thompson. I'm an attorney and certified financial planner who created a successful financial planning firm serving LGBTQ entrepreneurs. Now, I'm on a mission to help others build their own businesses with purpose and profit. On Mission Driven Business, you'll hear from diverse entrepreneurs and the people who support them. You'll get practical advice and a little motivation to help you build your own business with impact and profit. Maybe even change the world. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mission Driven Business Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Thompson, and today we're wrapping up our three-part series on budgeting with the final piece of the framework, action. In the first episode, we talked about awareness, knowing your numbers, understanding your income, your expenses, and your cash flow. In the second episode, we talked about acceptance, letting go of shame, judgment, and comparison so that you can look at those numbers honestly. And today, we're going to talk about what to actually do with that information. Because awareness without action doesn't change anything. But once you understand your numbers and accept where you are, you can start making intentional decisions about the business you want to build. Before we dive into spreadsheets and percentages, I want to start with something that might sound surprising in a budgeting conversation. Vision. Budgeting is not just about numbers. It's about building the business and life that you want. So before making changes, I encourage clients to step back and ask a bigger question. What am I trying to build? Do you want a lean lifestyle business that gives you flexibility and freedom? Do you want a growing company with employees and systems? Do you want a business that maximizes profit so you can invest, travel, or retire early? There's no right answer. You get to build whatever you want, but the budget you build should reflect your vision. We want your budget to direct your money where it matters most. All right, let's talk about the three levers of action. Once you understand your numbers and your vision, the next step becomes clearer. In most businesses, there are three financial levers you can pull. Lever one, the income lever. The first lever is making more money. That might mean raising your prices, adding new services or offerings, improving your marketing, or increasing your capacity to serve more clients. Sometimes, the simplest way to improve your financial picture is to focus on revenue growth. But of course, that's not always the answer. Lever two, the expense lever. The second lever is reducing your expenses. That doesn't mean slashing everything or running your business from a scarcity mindset. Instead, it means asking thoughtful questions like, are there subscriptions or tools that I'm no longer using? Are there services I can renegotiate? Or are there expenses that I have that don't really move the business forward? Remember what we talked about in the awareness episode. Sorting your expenses from highest to lowest can reveal a lot. Sometimes, one or two adjustments can significantly improve your financial flexibility. Lever three, a combination of both. Most of the time, the right answer is a combination of both levers. Maybe you increase your prices slightly and reduce a few unnecessary expenses. Small adjustments on both sides of the equation can create a big impact. One framework I often recommend to clients for budgeting and cash flow is the profit first model. The idea is simple. Instead of treating profit as whatever is left over after expenses, you allocate your income intentionally across several key categories: profit, owner's pay, taxes, and operating expenses. By setting percentages for each category and allocating income as it comes in, you create guardrails that help keep your business financially healthy. Each quarter, we then revisit those percentages to ensure they still make sense for your current budget. It also enforces an important mindset shift. Profit is no longer an afterthought. It becomes a priority. One final word of encouragement, especially for those of you who might be feeling pressure to make every year better than the last. Business growth is not a straight line. I see this all the time with clients. Sometimes you have what I call a building year. Maybe you hired your first employee, invested in new systems, or launched a new service model. Or maybe you just restructured your client roster. Whatever it may be, in those years, your expenses may increase before your revenue catches up. And that's okay. Sometimes investing now helps you create something better later. Ultimately, budgeting isn't just about tracking numbers. It's about decision making. When you know your numbers and accept where you are, you gain the ability to make thoughtful choices, especially around hiring, raising prices, investing in marketing, or even slowing down to focus on profitability. Without a budget, these decisions feel like guesses. With a budget, they become strategic choices. So here's your action step for this week. Look at the numbers you gathered during your awareness exercise and ask yourself, which lever do I need to pull right now? Do you need to focus on increasing your income? Do you need to reduce or optimize expenses? Or maybe you need to do a little bit of both. Then identify one intentional change you can make this month. Not 10, one. Small, consistent decisions are what ultimately build strong businesses. Thank you for joining me for this 3-part budgeting series, focusing on awareness, acceptance, and action. If there's one thing I hope you take away from these 3 episodes, it's this. Budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about clarity, compassion, and intentional decision making. When you know your numbers, accept where you are, and take thoughtful action, you create a financial foundation that allows your mission-driven business to thrive. If you found this series helpful, please share it with another entrepreneur who might benefit. And as always, if you have questions or insights you'd like to share, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at BTFinancial. Until next time. Don't miss an episode by subscribing to Mission Driven Business on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other listening platform. Thanks for listening. Until next time.